Well, welcome to our first in the series of MAR professional member highlights. And our first post is our current president, Barbara Strassman, who's here to talk about her journey into reflexology. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Wendy?
I'm well, and I'm excited to get to chat with you a little bit about your experience with reflexology and your journey with Ma. So tell us, how did you discover reflexology?
Oh, many moons ago, back in the 90s, it actually started with my son having an illness that the doctors couldn't diagnose. And long story short, one day I was at my mother's house and she used to talk about reflexology, but I wasn't paying attention back then. And she had passed away, but this book just kind of jumped off the shelf when I was visiting my dad, and it was Reflexology. And I actually took the book home and thumbed through the pages, and at night I would start playing with my son's feet. And playing with them is the term I used back then. I had no idea that reflexology was a thing, that it was a profession. I really didn't have any background, but I just started tapping into what we call the pressure points or the reflexes. And within a minute, this child would be sound asleep every night.
Wow.
And over time, he loved it, but I started to see changes in his health, believe it or not.
Right, right. So what is the main takeaway from seeing your son receive reflexology? How did it
Um,
help him? In
how
what
did
way
it
did it
help
help?
him?
Yeah,
Well, the key for me was I could before this was before I was trained, right? So here I'm just
right.
so-called playing with his feet. Um, I could tell as he touched his feet which points were tender or had a different sensation, a different
Right,
feel. Um, and I actually started tracking those points, and I went and told the doctors.
right.
I told them what reflexes
Yeah,
were standing out to me.
right.
And it actually matched part of his diagnosis because it turned out he had a spleen disorder.
Okay.
He had trouble with his red blood count. And so when I was working on the spleen, that was the reflex that presented itself the most. And then it was the liver reflex. So I started documenting it before I knew documentations existed, and started working with the doctors. And then we tracked how his blood count started improving
Wow.
since I started doing the reflexology.
Right, right, right.
And you could see the changes. It was like he was getting more life force. He was
Right,
coming back to life because more oxygen. So as we
right,
produced more red blood cells through the work, he was getting more oxygen.
right,
And the issue was the spleen had trapped his red blood cells. They were trapping them. They were not being discarded the way they were supposed to be. So his system was not working properly, and the reflexology was like rebooting him. It was
right,
amazing.
right. And your son today, how is he today?
He's awesome. He's 42. That was back in the 90s.
Wow.
He was 11 when we first discovered something was wrong.
Right.
He was jaundiced. So no, he's awesome. They wanted him to have a surgery and take out his spleen, and I didn't do the surgery. We got him off of the medications with the
Okay.
reflexology, and he's been fine. He's got a great immune system.
Yeah.
He doesn't get sick.
Right.
It's a compromised immune system, but he never gets sick. And he does really well. And I just thank him every day. I'm like, really sorry you got sick, honey, but it changed my life. It changed
Right.
my
Right.
my career, my
Yeah.
path. And I'm just, I'm a firm believer,
Yeah.
obviously, in reflexology.
Right. So here you are, you're in this um sort of situation with worry, but also you want to take care of your son, and you see the results right in front of you. And then what do you go out and do?
So then I figured I better find out really what reflexology is about and how do I get trained? Because I
Right.
wasn't trained. And I did find through one of the local massage schools that they had a reflexology training.
Right.
So I did the training. It was a reflexologist from New York. And it was a great retreat. It was a 7-day retreat up in New Hampshire. So that was the beginning of the training. And I wanted to become certified, or what back then we called nationally certified. I knew I had to pursue it. I felt it
Yeah.
was like a calling. He got
Oh
sick for a
wow.
reason. So I did the whole training, and then I had to do 100 hours of hands-on
Yeah. Mhm.
practice,
Yeah.
document every single session. And then I had to meet with either the trainer or the assistant,
Mhm.
to get the private hands-on. So I did all that, and then I dragged my family to New York City about a year and a half later, to take my national exam. And I became nationally certified in 1998.
Wow.
So
So
then I could start my business.
yes. So here you are, almost 2 decades later.
Mhm.
And how are you seeing the results in your clients compared to what you witnessed with your son? And now you're seeing it in your clients. How is that
Mhm.
feeling for you?
Oh, it keeps me going every day. It's marvelous to
Yeah.
be able to offer people an opportunity to improve their overall health without side effects, without the medications, to help them learn techniques to work on themselves. I mean, it's so rewarding. I had to change careers. It created some issues in a marriage, but I knew it was like a gift, and it's just a great way to help people, help themselves and help their families. And it works. I mean, my son is proof of the benefits, and it led me to other holistic healing techniques. But daily, I see the benefits for people. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So, Barbara, today, what is going on in your reflexology business that you'd like our viewers to know?
Hmm. Um, well, I find today they're much more aware of their bodies. They're very conscious of different health alternatives.
Hmm.
And I would like them to know that part of my goal, and I believe a lot of the reflexologists, especially in MAR, is we want to educate people.
Yeah.
We want to help you to understand your body. We
Yeah.
want you to know how that your body heals itself.
Yeah.
And that's the key. So it's about education. It's truly about a heart-centered helping of
Yeah.
people, and that we are the healer. Each individual,
Yes.
the healing is within you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. So, Barbara, it's wonderful to speak to you today. Is there anything you'd like to say to our MAR members as we close this out?
MAR members, just keep putting out the love, keep putting out the reflexology, because you are so helping humanity. And especially since COVID, you're really helping people to recover from COVID. You're helping people to heal themselves and to know that there's hope. So I just encourage them, our members, to really, put themselves out there, so to speak, because this is how we're going to help the world to heal, I believe.
Yeah.
And I thank them for all their efforts and knowledge.
Well, Barbara, thank you. It's been really wonderful to speak to you today, and we hope to see you again soon.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.